What's up, everyone? It's Iceman Oz, aka Jay, and boy oh boy, Star Wars Battlefront 2. It's been a bit interesting, hasn't it, since its release? It's been a commercial disaster for EA, and I wanted to talk about it a little bit. A lot of people have been harassing me on Twitter to talk about it, so here I am. First of all, I didn't pre-order Battlefront 2. Didn't even consider pre-ordering it. I think with EA games, at this point, if you're pre-ordering those games, you have to know there's going to be some BS in there, like they're going to throw in something. It's just the way the company is. Now, a little background on EA. Back in 2011, they were at their lowest because after the financial crisis, after the markets crashed, essentially the company was at its lowest. Now, that's not to say they were going to go bankrupt or anything, but once they've seen the recovery of that, and they've seen how Call of Duty have implemented microtransactions and it's made them a ton of money, EA's tried to follow suit. Now, with the release of Battlefront 2, EA thought this was going to be something that they were praised for, that you wouldn't have to pay for extra content in the game later on, right? Like, I see why they thought that would be a good thing, but replacing it with something else that costs, well, in a way, that could cost just as much, if not more, is not exactly the best way to go. And giving people a distinct advantage by them paying more money than the other person, that is, like, literally what free-to-play games do, like, on mobile, right? They'll give you the game for free, but then you pay money to get an advantage over the other players. So, yeah, it's not the best thing for a title that comes out full priced, that, they want to charge extra money on top of that. It just won't be accepted by the general population. Now, if they did it in the way, for example, League of Legends do it, where you basically get skins, and it doesn't really affect the gameplay, it's proven that you can still make a lot of money without having to give certain players an advantage for putting in money. This was the grave mistake for EA and why it was such a commercial failure. Now, I can't confirm this, but I have heard sources that Battlefront 2 had the highest return rate of any other game in the past decade. And that really speaks volumes to where Battlefront 2 is right now. The other interesting thing to me is the campaign. It was supposed to add to the lore of Star Wars. It was supposed to be this grand, massive adventure. But then we learned to find out that when you complete the game on normal difficulty, it's only 4 hours. So, 4 hours! That's ridiculous. You're paying full price for a 4-hour experience. Now, I'm not going to be one of those guys that, jump on the hate train about it, but oh man, 4 hours seems really low for a linear experience. But if it was something like a Mass Effect where you could choose your arcs and, branching storylines, that would be something. But, this is a linear experience, so to me, it's unacceptable. Now, I have heard that the single player has its moments, and that doesn't surprise me. You know something? It wouldn't surprise me if Battlefront 2 is a really great game and does well long into the future and has some popularity. The reason that I haven't bought it is not because that I think the game's going to be bad. It's just that, for me, I don't have a real interest in Star Wars, and I'm not interested in an arcade-type shooter. So I did get the original Battlefront game that came out, what was it, a couple of years ago? It wasn't last year, was it? It was a couple of years ago. And played it, and thought it was great. Especially the Blast variant, which is basically Team Deathmatch. Really had a great time on it, and in fact, I was pretty good at it. And surprisingly, I'd say it's probably the shooter that I was best at probably in the past 3 years. Just absolutely dominating. So, I thought that was great. And for this one, it just seems like more of the same. I'll be honest, Battlefront for me, wore out super quickly. And I don't want to make brash statements. Maybe you guys can correct me in the comments section below. What is really different about this game? Because after looking over everything, seeing the trailers, seeing the details, there's nothing really much to it that makes me really excited. As someone who's a fan of shooters but not a fan of Star Wars, I don't think people who are the general shooter fans are really interested in this game. I think that the Star Wars fans will love it, love the different character unlocks and that, but first of all, the microtransactions will stop, I think, a large amount, and we've seen it in the numbers, a large amount of shooter fans come into it, like the general population of shooter fans, and then you got like the Star Wars fans who absolutely love it. So I fall into that. I'd say I fall into that sector of the general shooter fans, and that's why I'm personally not going to get it, because it just doesn't. It just doesn't have enough there for me. Now, that's not to say I'll never buy it. I think the gameplay is strong, and there is a wide variety of features compared to the first one, but I don't think there's enough there, like I stated earlier, to justify that purchase for me personally. Right now, it's not, but if there is a huge sale later on, I'm willing to buy it, on one condition, that the loot boxes do stay out of the game, because EA have said they're gonna put it back in. Well, they didn't say they're gonna put it back in, but that's kind of what they're saying. They removed it because of the community backlash, which I think is absolutely awesome, that all of the shooter fans came together and they were like, no, this is bullshit, we can't have this. So EA had to backpedal, and they said that they will temporarily remove it. So that means, in my opinion, that they're gonna wait till everything dies down and they're gonna put it all back in. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Be very curious to hear what you guys think about this. By the way, just to wrap up the video on a totally different subject, if you guys want to add me, I recently got a PlayStation 4. So my username is real-IcemanOz. I'll put it on the screen. It's capital R-E-A-L. Far out, I can't even spell. It's been so long since I've done a commentary. Dash Ice, capital I-C-E, capital M-A-N, capital A-U-Z. So if you guys want to add me on there, I'm playing Gran Turismo Sport right now. I'm playing PES 2018, Call of Duty World War II, and Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. So if you guys have any of them, be sure to add me. And if not, just add me anyway. Be happy to play with you guys online. But with that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry if it's a little jagged. I'm still getting back into the swing of things. This is what happens when you don't upload commentaries, when you've uploaded like 10 commentaries in a year. So anyway guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like, share, subscribe, and peace.